Good day, everyone. I'm on the way to get an afternoon dunks in beautiful downtown Atlanta. This, as you know, as it says, is a Tough Mudder vid. I talked to Kyle, and we go over a lot of stuff. We go over the new distances, the updated calendar with a lot of new cities. There's a lot going on next year with Tough Mudder, Tough Mudder Infinity. We talk about WTM a little bit. So let's check it all out together. And I'm going to go get my coffee, and I'll see you on the other side. Away we go.
So, I mean, there's markets that were pandemic affected, right? That we, like a Long Island, that we would have loved to get back to and couldn't in 2021. Long Island's obviously back on the calendar next year. That'll be launching, for sale shortly. Arizona, Lake Elsinore, and SoCal, and College Station, Texas are sort of the lineup for January, February, March, early part of the season here. And I mean, crazy enough, we're only a few months away from January, so we're already designing courses for the January event. But we're excited also to be able to put Canada back on the map. So in Toronto, which was scheduled for 2020, then moved to 21, then now moved over to 2022. Toronto's obviously been our biggest event of the North America season for the past couple of years. 14,000 plus people attended that Toronto event in 2019. So we're pretty stoked to be back across the border. We're adding Ottawa, which is a new market for us as well. So, Ottawa, our Ontario community will have two options, sort of an earlier mid-season option and then a September option in Toronto. Back to British Columbia, Whistler Olympic Park, unfortunately, is not a viable venue any longer. So we would have loved to get back to Whistler, but are working very diligently to get back to Vancouver. You're not going to see that on today's published calendar because that's one still a bit of a work in progress.
Right.
But excited to head back there. Carolinas, which hasn't been on the TM calendar since 2017. So we're close to finalizing a venue in North Carolina. That one will be in the fall. More push into Florida, Matt. So things in your neck of the woods. We'll be in Jacksonville in April. Obviously, the joint Spartan Tough Mudder event in Florida this December.
Home of OCR, the new home of OCR, Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. They roll out the red carpet. They're great partners. So
they really are. Close to my birthday. Maybe I'll slide down for that one.
We did it just for you. I mean, you give a Matt B. Davis branded.
I have been able to be at Tough Mudders on my birthday weekend. Multiple years, so it's been great. We're back here, mainstay here at Bucharest Farms, April 23rd, 24th. Excited to see you guys back here. So a couple of these don't have dates; they have asterisks. We're confident that you'll have dates though soon.
Yeah, all of those are in progress. So the venues, either ones specifically in the back end of the year, we typically don't launch until after this year's event has already happened. Mainly so people don't get confused and sign up for October 2022 by accident when they mean to sign up for October 2021.
Right.
But all those are in progress. Most of those will launch as the events happen this year.
Right.
A couple of the other ones we're very, very close to finalizing venues. So adding that additional NorCal one in late May. That one we're looking at an amazing venue down near Yosemite, which would be a great destination event. And then word on the street, Matt, is that the Tough Mudder New England event may be returning back to a Tough Mudder fan favorite from years ago. So I can't contractually say any more than that right now, but we're hoping to have that one launched in the next couple weeks here.
Well, I was going to say the fan favorite was Amesbury, but that thing's gone, isn't it?
Amesbury's gone, but you're in the ballpark there. So
well, there's Amesbury, there's Barry.
I'm not going to say any further. So
okay. Yeah, I gotta say, not a huge fan of racetrack in New Hampshire. I get it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Better than having no venue. But yeah, nobody's a big fan of the zero elevation. Well, I'm not a big fan of the zero elevation racetrack events.
Yeah, I mean, the racetrack in New Hampshire, and they were great in helping us get out of Massachusetts, right? We had to sort of make that call as to, is Massachusetts going to reopen? As it turns out, they did, but pretty close to the event itself. So we had to roll the dice there and be able to get that event across the line. But we've got a good lineup for next year. It'd be nice to be back to a more rounded out schedule in the Northeast with Philly, Poconos, Long Island, New England. And of course, like DC, Virginia as well. So,
and what about Portland? That seems new.
Portland is new. Yeah. So We are trying to round out the Pacific Northwest a bit here. We've always had a nice base in Seattle, and then obviously Whistler in the past. It's been a long time since TM's had a footprint in Oregon, but looking to add that to the calendar this year. We're in late stage venue discussions with that one as well, so that one should be launching here in the next couple of weeks.
You mentioned Infinity Stones. You mentioned all these distances. There's so much to unpack here. You had teased this in a previous call that we did.
I did.
And here we are with 3 different distances: 5K, 10K, 15K, aka the classic.
Let's go FKA, the classic. This is going to be the event formerly known as Classic.
Okay.
But a big reason of why we put 10K on the map for next year is one, like we saw a lot of people who've come in to do Tough Mudder 5K weren't making the leap up to Classic. It's a big jump to go from 3 miles to 10 miles. So a middle distance product gives them something to be that stepping stone to kind of move along in their journey here. But the other piece is that there are just many venues, and you've been to them before, right? Where trying to squeeze the Classic course in there means that there ends up being like 2 miles of Killer Gorilla, or you're just running in circles or zigzags for a while to try and make up that mileage. And that really, it's not fun for anybody, right? So
what's Killer Gorilla?
Huh? Oh, it's Matt. Yeah, this is classic Tough Mudder lore. Killer Gorilla is the obstacle that involves just running in zigzags up and down a hill. So
talking about distances, and it appears as though the Tougher Mudder, which is the timed first wave, is going away and being not replaced with, but in addition to, I guess, you can get a Legionnaire wave first thing in the morning.
Yeah, so 2 things. One, Tougher Mudder was created 4 or 5 years ago now in this effort to directly compete with Spartan. Which is sort of a departure. If you remember at the time, like everybody was up in arms about, Tough Mudder is creating this competitive product and this is not Tough Mudder. And then, people came around to it. And for a long time, it was also the only way that you could guarantee an early start on course. Because in the days of like Tough Mudder free for all start time assignments, you could sign up and end up with a start time anywhere between like 8:30 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now that we've launched start times, the Tougher really has become this thing for people who want to be out first or want the competitive experience, which again just isn't what we do. So Tougher is going to phase out. Last one will run here in November, and we're launching 2 sort of considerations around it. So the Legionnaire wave will be on Saturday and Sunday mornings now going forward. So reserved for 5 times and higher Legionnaires will be a password protected wave. So Legionnaires will be able to invite guests and newbies and friends to be a part of that experience. So it's not going to be solely restricted to people there, but you'll have to know a 5x plus Legionnaire to get access to it. You can add on bib and timing. So for people who still want to run for time for their own, like I want to go out and set a goal, I want to track my own time and pace of it. You will be able to add on bib with timing chip to run the Legionnaire wave for time. But there will not be a podium. There will not be awards. There will not be rankings. It'd be more of you want to go out and do this for time because your training you're putting into this. In addition to the Legionnaire wave, we are launching a new product called Tough Mudder Infinity, which will be at 10 US events next year, 4 events in the UK. And that is, you remember the daytime toughest we did in 2018 in NorCal?
I do remember.
So that was hands down one of the most highly rated events we've ever done.
I believe Allison Ty won that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I believe Allison won that one.
Yeah. So coming off the back of that, and knowing how many people are already doing multiple laps on a typical Saturday, doing Tougher in the morning or doing something else, doing first mud and going out after that, we have for a long time wanted to build an actual multi-lap experience that was supported and recognized and gave some real infrastructure around it. So Tough Mudder Infinity will be the official multi-lap experience. It'll be at 10 events. You'll start first thing in the morning. So it'll be a 7:30 a.m. Wave start. You'll have bibs and chips, kind of full timing infrastructure. Everybody will do a 15K lap to start. And then after that, you will be able to choose subsequent 5K or 15K laps to build up your distance. With all the timing tech, live video leaderboards, needed to track that.
5K or 10K?
5K or 15K.
Okay.
So imagine it as you're working to rack up as much distance as you can, in the allotted time on a Saturday.
You just got done telling me that timing and speed is not in the ethos, and then you just launched this other product.
Yeah, but this is not about speed, right? This is about personal goals and achievements, and about the ability to go out and say, like, I want 15K is not enough for me. I'm not satisfied doing 15K. I want 20K. I want 30K. I can go for 50K. We've not had an official way to support that in the past, right? You had to make the leap from doing Tough Mudder Classic to doing a toughest. So now you'll have the opportunity to go and do this in the same community-supported environment that you've got, right? Rather than you being on course in a wetsuit with a headlamp on in the middle of the night by yourself, you'll now be, in your infinity bib on course with 10,000 other people who are there at Everest to help you up, who are there to get you through other obstacles, and you can go, to rack up your own mileage. So there won't be a podium for this. There won't be awards, but there will be mileage earnings. So similar to the world's system of like 50, 75, 100-mile bibs, there will be achievement awards once you get to the 30-kilometer, 45-kilometer, 60-kilometer point for Infinity.
Where will I refuel between laps?
It'll be a dedicated like mini pit area. So similar to how the pits used to work at Toughest, where it was people had like an assigned table. You'll have an area in the festival between the finish and the start where you can come in, you refuel. There'll be specific amenities and things there for you. But because it's daytime, you can do it without pit crew, right? You don't need the same infrastructure and gear and other things that you would need to do the overnight event. Which
brings us to Toughest and World's Toughest 2022.
Yep.
What can you tell me?
So 2 toughest currently on the calendar in the U.S., Indiana and Philly for next year. Potential for a West Coast toughest, but not confirmed yet. There's not a great venue choice currently for that one out there. And then World's Toughest, as you know, will launch on the Monday after Worlds.
Oh, and I'll be there for that announcement.
You in fact will be there. You are doing their live coverage for World's Toughest this year. So
we should talk about that. Indiana and Philly. What about UK?
The UK toughest also launches today. That will be at Northwest. So it's a venue change on UK toughest.
Okay. Well, I have been supposedly, I know that's not how you say it, but it's fun to say. Supposedly, I have supposed to have gone there the last 2 years, including this one, right? So I think 2020.
We've been long working on that. So the invite still stands. We will get you there in 2022.
So let's make that fucking happen. I finally go to the UK.
Well, it was great news from the Biden administration yesterday. It looks like our UK friends may actually be able to come to the US for Worlds, which wasn't looking so great as of last week.
Have you announced breakdown of WTM prize money? I don't know if we've done that yet. I know you announced the total figure, but do we know men and women, or have we done that?
We did announce it. So it is a $10,000 first place prize for men, $10,000 for women, $5K for second place, and $2,500 for third.
A lot of money, man. That's awesome.
It's a lot of money. Well, Boone's going for 100 miles. It's going to be a heavily contested race on both sides. We're pretty excited.
Yeah, I know Atkins is going to be there. I think Atkins is probably going to do the Spartan Ultra 2 weeks before because he's a lunatic, maybe 3 weeks before. Like some people are doing that. Good for you. I think my friend Rachel's doing that. Rachel Waters is doing that. And good for you, people that do that. You're the real freaking heroes out there. But yeah, let's quickly mention, since we teased it the other day, we'll be doing live coverage, not 24 hours in a row per se, but lots of live coverage on the WTM channels, race coverage, race highlights, leaderboards, fun stuff. And then ORM will be doing what we always kind of do behind the scenes, wacky Instagram stories and some interviews. And anything else you want to say about that?
No, I mean, other than we're coming on the final home stretch here, right? We're nearly 50 days out from WTM, which is crazy to think about. announcing contenders in the next 2 days here. A great elite field that's lining up for it. Most people, I think, are just using the Spartan Ultra World Champs as training for WTM. Just to
Right, that's kind of the way to do it. The final shakeout. This final 24-hour shakeout. Hey, there you have it. Now you know a heck of a lot more about Tough Mudders, plans for the rest of this year and next. I was very excited to talk to Kyle and learn all that stuff. Do me a favor. Join the Patreon if you haven't done that yet. You like this content? It's fun, it's good, it's informative, it's entertaining. You're also enjoying the live stuff we do. You're loving our fun Instagram stories. Join the Patreon and get special perks and be a part of the Patreon train. Links below. Love you, miss you, mean it. Gotta run.